Hello all, and welcome to your Saturday night beer review. Tonight's going to be a somewhat special beer review. Who am I kidding? All my beer reviews are very special. That's why I dressed up in my finest V-neck t-shirts and wild hair. So tonight we will be reviewing something that I got for Christmas from a former coworker. This is a Samuel Adams Barrel Room Collection. So it's 3 beers that are specialty beers made by Sam Adams. Now this kind of goes and proves that Sam Adams is pretty much craft. Recently there's been a spate of articles about is Sam Adams truly craft beer, and I think the answer is yes. Despite their high volumage and despite the amount of crap they get from, I'm going to be blunt here, beer snobs, I believe that Sam Adams is still craft beer. And a lot of people are really knocking them because the founder, Bob Koch, is not really into IPAs, and was pretty open about his disdain for the current direction that a lot of brewing is taking, and basically is a little bit butthurt by the way he's been treated. You know, I think that you probably should get over it a little bit, because, you know, the biggest boy on the block is always going to get crapped on. And, you know, if you're going to market, you know, haters are going to hate. You know, it can't always be Sierra Nevada. And I really like what Sam Adams does. They're kind of going off in their own direction and doing their own thing. So people will sometimes say, well, a lot of their beers are crap. It's the same, you know, rendition of lagers and ales and especially wheat beers. Same thing, same over and over again. Nothing really challenging. But I think that this thing here goes and rather begs the question, yes, they can brew craft beers. Yes, they do care about beer. And so what? He doesn't like IPAs. Not everyone does. I like them. I'm not really a big fan of wit beers. He likes them. That's okay. As long as, you know, the more beer there is, the better it is. So onward to tonight's beer. I have no idea how old this beer is. It's Sam Adams, ale aged in oak barrels. This is a New World, a golden triple with notes of spice and tropical fruit. So it's basically a Belgian triple. This is at 10% ABV, so somewhat heavy. Now let's read the fairly long description on the back here. This triple was born from the old world Belgian technique of barrel aging and the new world of craft brewing innovation. With its pale golden color and uniquely refreshing taste, this big, colorful, and complex brew has a subtle herbal hop character combined with the tropical fruit and spice notes of its special Belgian yeast. One of our brewers' favorite places to experiment is in the barrel room of our Boston brewery. It's here that each of our Sam Adams Barrel Room Collection brews was born. To learn more about this unique set of ales, visit samadams.com. Enjoy this ale now, or age it to further develop unique flavors. Pour gently in a traditional glass at 50 degrees, taking care not to unsettle the fine layer of yeast at the bottom of the bottle. See cork top here. One thing is a little bit on the dark side, so it's going to be a little bit hard to go and see whether or not I unsettled the yeast. Obviously, I'm not going to for the first part. I'm only going to pour about a half cup. And it's a little bit on the overly cold side, but being that it's here in Hawaii and being that it's not very cool right now, it's actually pretty warm for a winter night here. Let's go. It's probably going to warm up pretty quickly. So let's go pop this bad boy open. Pretty tight cork here. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Did you hear that? And just a whole bunch of beautiful, mist came out and redolent smells. Okay. I'm not pouring very vigorously, but it is definitely giving off a lot of head here. So I'm only going to pour half a glass because you can see the head is insane. I'm probably going to... I don't know why. It is bottle conditioned, so it's probably been conditioning for a while there. And as you can see, it's quite carbonated. Take a look at that. It's a beautiful golden orange with a very thick, I'd say this is about yellowish beige, yellow off-white head. Lovely phenolic characters, very redolent of, immediately the smell is of cloves. Underneath that, bubblegum. This is the first beer I've seen where it's actually like frothing up more after I'm done pouring. It is extremely carbonated. You can just see it. It's almost like champagne there. It is very strong smelling. Very redolent of Belgian yeast. Okay, let's see here. Okay, there we go. There's also a bit of the coriander in there. Oopsie. And also graininess. Despite the strong smell of that phenolic Belgian yeast, you still get a hint of the grainy malts. I'm just kind of blowing at the head here because I don't know how I'm going to get at the beer. You can see it is just still creating head long after I pour it. Very honeyed notes to the malt. Immediately, you get that spicy coriander and it just immediately hits your tongue when you sip it. Absolutely no booziness whatsoever, which is very good for the style. You never want any booziness. The rock candy sweetness arrives in the mid palate and lingers in the finish, along with a nice, light, very floral, lightly bitter hop finish. There's a note of citrus that arrives in the mid palate, and that funky Belgian yeast is there, but not overwhelming from start to finish. There's definitely an underlying sort of bubblegum hint to the sweetness that's not cloying, nothing overwhelming in regards to that sort of yeastiness. but it's there to remind you of its presence. Despite the obvious high alcohol content, like I said, no booziness, very strongly flavored, but actually quite light-bodied on the tongue. Despite the highly visible carbonation, it's not overly prickly. I like it. It's actually a very complex yet subtle take on the Belgian style. Some Belgian fans might not dig it because it is not very in your face. I'm sort of digging it for its mellowness. All the flavors that should be there are there. They're well represented. And none of them are really quite out of balance with the other. You're having your hops, you're having your yeast, and you're having your rock candy, and you're having a lot of those notes that are supposed to be there. There's probably a bit of New World twist, I would say, is probably in the hops. It definitely has a bit of that sort of piney bitterness, but it is not a hop show. It definitely still feels like a good triple. Or Tripel. I'm not really sure how you pronounce it. This is really good. I would recommend this for someone who wants a good representation of the Belgian style, Belgian triple style, without being totally blown away. Like I said, it is, while the tastes are there, while the tastes are well represented and quite strong, they are not intense or overwhelming. Complex, subtle, and like it says, with a sort of New World twist to the hopping, but not making it a hop show. I'd have to actually recommend this. It's not getting too much of the oak barrel there. Maybe there's a touch of woodiness in the finish, now that I think about it. And I would probably venture that the mellowness of it comes from the oak aging, which, as you know, aging in wood tends to remove sharper characters from beverages. This is kind of expensive. If I remember correctly, this box set's probably around $30, so you're paying about $10 a bottle for this, which is actually not that bad when you think about how much you pay for a bomber, and this is bomber size. So, yeah, if you're looking for a interesting, if true take on the Belgian style, I'll definitely go with this. This is from the New World Barrel Collection. Well, sorry, this is from the Barrel Collection, New World Triple. And I guess that's your beer review for tonight. So, give it a shot, eh? Cheers.